Welcome to Maker's Perspective. Here, we're going to be making our tall cylinder, or the cylinder in the middle. In this series, all the vessels are started the same, with a small starter bubble. After the starter bubble is where we'll start to see the subtle differences that yield the different outcomes. For the original bubble, I always start marving from the pipe out. And then when I bring the piece off the marver, I will always come off on the moil area. That way, I don't dent or have a flat tire in the area that's going to become a bubble. After popping the bubble, I'll sit down at the bench and I'll finish it off with my jacks. Using a little bit of fan to cool the bubble. And now I go into the furnace, all the way down to the moil, and then 2 or so revolutions, and gradually coming down and out. I have my hot gather. When I sit down, we'll put it in the block and block the whole piece, from the moil to the bottom. You can see it's quite high, but it's moving all as one thing. Even though it looks pretty good, I'm still going to go back in and heat in the glory hole. Now, if you were making a number of these, after a while, you could definitely take out this heat, just start dropping it out and blowing it up from the block. But to keep this similar to the others, I'll give it that heat. Block it, inflate and drop out a little bit. For this setup, I'll try to keep it a little longer because I'm making a longer thing. You can notice the tip already is starting to have a nice reservoir. Having a good bit of thickness down there is also weight, and so that'll help it drop it out. Then I come down nicely onto the shoulder area, so it's thicker at the bottom and thinner up to the shoulder towards the pipe. Once back at the bench, we'll blow it up a little bit. Then I just start the jack line. Because I'm going to be heating up the whole thing and stretching it out, I don't really want to refine the jack line right away. Kind of work on it the whole time. Heating the whole thing, and then also heating it, holding it up in the glory hole, so that then I can start to drop it out. There I am heating in the glory hole, stretching it. Just a simple swing. You can already see that I'm getting some length. supporting the shoulder with the jack blades, blown out to piece, and back for some more heat. There are faster methods if you want to make a longer, or even the next one, a wider cylinder for that matter. But the whole yank and pull method is one of those ways. But for this, I just want to show what can be done with heat, gravity. So again, here I am dropping it out a little bit in the glory hole using the heat and gravity there. I have the diameter pretty much set by the shoulder, so I put the jack blade tips on that shoulder and blow everything up into a nice cylinder. You can slightly see the push-pull method with the jacks that allows me to come off just a little bit when I change directions while turning. Always using the colder part of the glass as reference. Now that I have basically the shape I want to get, now I can start to work on the bottom. Again, jack blades up at the shoulders, just making sure it's all nice in one plane. Work from the cold into the hotter area. Flash the whole thing. Now just heat up that bottom edge. Nice flash. Come out, make sure the hose is on the inside. Jacks on the side, paddle on the bottom, and JW is riding just a little over halfway, but not touching my jacks. You can see a nice watermark, that bit of thickness down there. Bottom is good. I'll just take my paddle and give it a kick. Remove the goody tube and flash. Now I'll mark a little circle on the bottom. Flash in the neck, in the shoulder area. Grab my piece of cane and just score a nice little circle right there on the bottom where I want to punt it. JW comes over. I just touch it on just a little bit. Put a tweezer blade on the top side and one on the bottom side, and I can push up and down, still figuring out some of the zoom of the camera you can see. Anyways, drop of water on the moil, drop of water on the neck, and a bonk. Warming up the tweezers with the moil. JW brings it back, tweezer blade on the inside and one on the outside, rolling and lifting and pushing it back on. But you can also take the tweezers, find the high side, flip 180, and then push it from the bottom. Sometimes on longer shapes, I find it easier to center them from the bottom versus the top. So again, that's finding where it's off center or the high side, flipping it at 180, and then using the tips of your tweezer blades to push up. There I am again. Find that side, high, flip, and push. Just checking it one more time from the top area, and it looks decent enough. So now I'll be heating it for the tweezing out. Now remember, most of this is done. Say 3/4 of it for sure, probably more. So I just want to heat up that kind of shoulder area to be able to pull that out, inflate it, and open it up into the cylinder that I desire. So essentially, I'm just flashing, just go in, make sure I'm heated all the way, the punty all the way past the burner, and then putting most of the heat just on that top little bit of section. Tweezing from the top. I goofily grabbed the wrong shears. Little Jim Moore's right there. Perfect little small shears. Coming in at an angle, and then just feed the glass into the shear. So really, it's probably the top 1.5 to 2 inches that needs to be finished. Just go in, make sure it's nice and straight, JW on the paddle. So flash it, and now heating up that top area where I'll just Sophie. Now, I generally Sophie twice, so this will be the first one. So I go in, it's a little bit off camera, but as I bring it back to me and up, you can kind of see how much it inflated. Now I'll just take the jacks and open it up just a little bit more. Jacks on the outside, and then just flip open that lip just a little bit. Now you want to be efficient and quick with these heats. You don't want to do a long heat or you'll thicken up that lip and you've just spent time tweezing it, trimming it, and soaking it. So I'll put my jacks on the outside so that the piece won't inflate there, and it will only inflate where I haven't touched it. So grab Sophie, and you can see it stays relatively, maybe a little bit of pooch up in that top shoulder area, but nothing you can't fix by putting the jacks on the outside again. So now I just need to flip that lip open. Sometimes also for taller things, I find it's easier to heat and then kind of swing down when you spin. Kind of helps flutter it open. Jacks on the inside, all the way back, open it up, and then making sure I didn't open it up too wide, I go back and find a good reference point of the back of the cylinder. So there is a taller cylinder. looks like it's about complete, so just torching the punty connection, making sure that it's got a little movement there. Again, a nice deep flash past that burner. A drop of water on the connection, and a bonk. We'll torch out any sharp marks. And we're done. There's the tall cylinder. Thanks for watching Maker's Perspective. Cheers.